Hello, many times we want to see the timer while giving the presentation. So let's see what are the different ways in which you can have a timer in your presentation. The first way is this. So here what happens is I have enabled a timer and this is coming from a macro and it is indicating me 20 minutes time for my presentation. As I move forward in the next slide, I still see my timer running and I see that I have spent around 20 seconds already from the time I started the presentation, and it moves as I go forward or as I go back in the slides. I still am able to see my timer being incremented or decremented accordingly. So here what is happening is I have a bar in the top and the bar is indicating me 10 seconds is elapsing, and when it touches the corner that means 10 seconds have elapsed on this slide. Again, just the reverse of this way is the vanishing rectangle where it is indicating 10 seconds via the vanishing rectangle. And the fourth way is on a specific slide, I want to see how much time has elapsed. So it will show me the timer, and this is like 10 seconds have been set on the slide, and it will decrement from 10, indicating me when the time has passed. So these are the four ways. Let's see how this you can incorporate in your PowerPoint presentation. So let's start. We will start from the very basic and simple one, which is the bar at the bottom. So bar at the top, I mean, you can place it wherever you like. So I have this bar now, and what I need to do is I need to make an animation. I will select fly in. The other thing which I have to do is effect options, and effect option what I have to do is from left to right. Now I go to the animation pane by clicking here, and I want to make it 10 seconds. So duration I'm going to change it to 10 seconds. In the timing I want to start it with previous slide so that it automatically starts when we come in the slide. So let's see now what happens here. So I come in the slide and the upper rectangle is indicating me as 10 seconds are getting to elapse. The other way, the second way, is exactly the copy of the previous way. How? We will again select a rectangle. Let me place it in the center here. Make it yellow color. Now I'll move it in the top. Now what I'll do is again similar thing, animation, but instead of a entry animation I'm going to place a exit animation, which means fly out. Again I'll go to effect options and I will say to left. The timing, the duration duration is 10 seconds, and you have to start with previous. So now what happens, I go to the next slide and this is flying out and indicating me as 10 seconds are passing. Now we have seen the simple ways. Let's see the in-slide timer. So for in-slide timer, I will select a button where my timer should be coming. This is a rectangle shape which I selected. Now I have to go to shape format and select selection pane. And this rectangle being selected, I want to give it a name. Let me call it countdown. Now I have to create a macro here. This is a Mac machine. Something similar option should be there in Windows as well. But you have to go to macro and you have to say Visual Basic Editor. And here right click and select Insert Module. So in this module, I will paste this code. No need to go through the whole code, but what is indicated here is the counter will count till 20 seconds. You can make it as many seconds as you want. If you have to make it 10 minutes, it will be 16 to 10, 600 seconds. So let's say 20 seconds, and let's see what happens here now. So what is happening here is that it is setting the local counter. Okay, the shape name should be local counter, but we named our shape as countdown. If I'm not wrong, we called it countdown. Yeah, we call it countdown. So I have to change it to countdown. Now I come here in the slide, and what I need to do, there is one more thing which I have to do before I come here. I have to go here in the slide and I have to select the shape and I have to insert an action. So you go to insert and select something called as an action, and here you select run macro. Which macro you want to run? Local counter macro is what you want to run. So I select this. Now if I come to this slide and if I click here, the counter shall start on this slide. So it is indicating me a 20-second timer. Now the last one is the one where we wanted to have the timer presented across the slides, and it should retain the time for the whole of the PowerPoint. Okay, like when you started the PowerPoint till when you ended the PowerPoint, everything you want to calculate. So for that, again the same thing, we have to have a macro there. Let's see how it goes. So I'm going to insert a rectangle here again, and let me make it a yellow color, and let me go here. Again the same thing, first thing which we have to do is we have to go to shape format, selection pane, and give this guy some name. So what name we want to give, let me show you. So this rectangle, and I will give it a name. I'll say slide wise timer. Again I have to go there in the macros, so which means that I have to go to the tools, I have to go to macro, visual basic editor, and I have to place a new script. Let me do that. I'm going to copy the same script, but what I'll do is I'll rename it. Instead of local counter, what I'll say is full slide counter, and let me say instead of 20 seconds I would make it 60 into 10, 600 seconds. Okay, 600 seconds is what I make it. This was countdown. The name which we had selected was slide wise timer. So what we have to do here is we have to change that script to reflect the correct name. So I would be naming it slide wise timer. Okay, now what happens here is this button, when it is clicked, it will invoke that specific macro. For that, what I have to do, I have to insert an action. So I'll go to insert, I'll say insert action, and which macro I need to run? Full slide counter is what I want to run. Now the same thing, this rectangle we copy and we paste in all my slides. So I'll paste it here, I'll paste it here. Let's say I paste it here. The previous one, this is the one which was there from before. I'll place it here as well. Okay, now let's see how it behaves. I go, let me change the color of this to something else because it is not visible, so it's not looking good. I've selected the format painter, double click to select it for long, and I am pasting the format. Now what I'll do is I'll start the slide, and as you can see, the timer has started. Okay, we selected 10 minutes and 10 minutes is what it is indicating. I'll go to next slide, it will still retain the time. I go to the next slide, it is still retaining the time. Here also it is retaining the time. And if I go back, let's say I go back, it is still retaining the time. What is it indicating right now? It is indicating the full time which I'm spending in my PowerPoint. Now let's say that we have done this. When you are saving it, you cannot select PowerPoint. You have to select PowerPoint macro enabled. Okay, which means PPTM is the format in which you have to save this. So if I save this, now these macros would also be saved with it. If it was a PPT, the macros will not be saved. So these are the 4 ways. Hope you like them. Thank you very much.